Hello everybody. Today I will be starting up a new review series on the channel. At the beginning of the year, I thought to myself, or I gave myself a challenge to go through a manga series starting from A and work my way down to Z. And I originally was just gonna do it on my own, but I decided why not turn it into a review series and give my thoughts on the series as I go. So today I'll be reviewing the first 100 chapters worth and give my initial thoughts of Akane-banashi. I'm going to try to make this one a little bit of a quicker one in a couple of my last videos and work on that. But anyway, I will plan on getting back to the Vagabond review next week. Might have one come out on Thursday. If not, it will come out by next Thursday. And I'll be back to the regular Vagabond reviews with a Gachi Yakuta review at the very end of the month. Well, here we go. Akane-banashi is a story about Rakugo, a Japanese form of stand-up comedy, but with the twist is this what would be the stand-up comedian is sitting down. At least that's how I picture that part a little bit, as a little bit of a joke. But so far, it's been a pretty good series. I've definitely liked the character development throughout it. The main character slowly, or not necessarily slowly, but improving as it goes, learning more about fully of how to be a Rakugoka. I believe that's how it's pronounced. It starts off with it showing her dad, and he was originally a Rakugoka. But with the shows he was at, he wasn't getting too many audience members and was struggling. When it came time for his promotion, the test for it, he, alongside a few others, to get promoted, he got, the judge for that was supposed to be the best Rakugoka around at the time, and is still currently supposed to be the best. He decided to expel everybody from their current Rakugo schools, or from the Rakugo school, as a little bit of as a little bit of a way to advertise his new version of ways of teaching Rakugo, not off of the classics, but more of modern versions. And so this story is about the main character, Akane, trying to become a Rakugoka, or becoming Rakugoka, and trying to get to a high enough level to make the person that expelled her father, the person's name is Show, I believe, is Show. The person that expelled his father, not her father, but admit he was wrong about her father's version of Rakugo. But that part seems like it's starting to change a little bit as it closer to the 100 chapter mark. It might go back, don't know. I'm only around halfway through the series and it's currently ongoing. At the time of the recording, there's currently 192 chapters, and I have just finished chapter 100. And throughout, she am going to her father's former teacher to train under him, and so I think it's supposed to be a course of 8 years has been, or 7 years has been trained underneath him, kind of in secret. None of his other pupils, out of the 4 other ones, knew about it. Her dad didn't know, but her mom knew, which that was a little joke. That the person that she was learning from, I believe his name is Shiguma, thought that her mom also didn't know and was completely that she was doing it in secret, even though she didn't really keep it a secret. And after he finally accepts her to be a student, after her first little practice run at a show to see if she was still wanting to do it after experiencing what it's like, he introduces her to his other pupils, and each one kind of ends up training her at some point. It starts off with Kiju, or I think, or Kyojo, or Kyoji. Oh, Kyoji, I think it's how it's pronounced. And he, he takes her to a retirement home or a senior center, not a retirement home, to see what she can do. And so she does it pretty much exactly like she did the first event she went to, or her first time on stage, but it didn't get the crowd kind of laughing because they weren't as energetic because of their age. And so she learns the lesson, or she gets a lesson of to try to change it up for her audience from him. The next person she learns under is a little different. Some of the tutor students or fellow students or pupils of her master didn't want to help teach her at first because one is a little too busy and the other one is not comfortable doing it. But over time, they do end up teaching her, and it tends to be they will teach her different Rakugo stories that are more of unique to them. And as all that's going on, a little tournament is starting up for Rakugo. It's an annual tournament, and the person that is judging it this year is the same person that expelled her father and all the other Rakugo that year. And even though she believes her master or her teacher wouldn't be down for, or wouldn't agree to her signing up for it, and she's not officially a Rakugoka just yet. It has been announced or publicly stated that she has joined his school, but she's able to get permission but there's a catch. She has to do a specific story for the whole event, and it's a really simple one that is only really works the first time you hear it, usually. And I'm not too sure how to pronounce it at this moment, but it's basically repeating this. I think it's it might be Jumungu, but it's repeating the person's name. That person's name a lot, and it's an extremely long name. And so she figures out a way to do it to where each time she says it faster and faster. And during the event too, she meets some rivals, or the people that would become kind of her rivals. One is the previous winner, or 4 or 5 time winner of that event. Another one is a voice actress who's trying to get into Rakugo as a little way to prove that she's not just good at voice acting. During that, they see how talented she is, and it ends up being, they all make it into the final round, and where they're judged by Isho. And this will be Isho's first time seeing their acts. The first two, her rivals, or later to be rivals, he gives them compliments on their stuff and gives them a little bit of advice of how to improve. But as soon as he sees Akane's, he says she shouldn't be there, and she says she knows because of her skill, how she was able to do it like a professional Rakugoka. And the winner of the event also gets to have a meeting with him. And so in the meeting, she asks him why he didn't, or why he expelled her father and everybody from the competition that day. He said because he didn't think anybody there was actually worth becoming or getting promoted, which that brings me to the different version, kind of ranks of Rakugoka. There's apprentice, a person who hasn't debuted. Then there's a Zene, person that is the kind of lowest level of the main tree. They usually will get, basically are assistants to other Rakugoka, and are usually an opening act for the lead performer if they get the chance. Then there's a Futasumi, professional Rakugoka on average, and it's one that actually will get jobs and is able to star in their own little shows, but not much. Then there's a Shinyuchi, and that is the kind of masters, the ones that will teach and are the only ones that can actually really teach or take on students as a Rakugoka. And they're the top of Rakugo. Her father was expelled in the test from Futasumi to Shinichi. And after he got expelled, he just gave up Rakugo because he decided that was his last chance at trying to get promoted because he had tried a few times and failed. And after hearing why and stuff, that's when she makes it her goal to try to make him admit that he was wrong about her father's style of Rakugo. She ends up... it cuts 6 months later, a little bit after the tournament. She's actually at a Rakugo building or a theater where they perform. That's where she meets a few other people. She starts to make some connections. She ends up being a person named Go. Not Go. Go. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. But also, she nicknames him Anna-san. But he ends up becoming kind of more of the mentor for her at that time, with alongside becoming a side character or recurring character, and teaches her more about the ins and outs of being a Zene and what it's like to be a Rakugoka in training. During the process, she's also taught a special kind of story from one of the Shinichis, something that's considered I think it's something like the Arch 4 or 4 Arches, and is given 3 kind of lessons and has to learn it from there. She ends up learning her own version and is able to perform it at a special event, which that's rare for a Zinni. But after that, and as time keeps going, she learns some more lessons, gets more events she's able to go to, and ends up being one of her father's old kind of friends in Rakugo, Chocho, who at this moment might be my favorite character. He's a little bit of a gambler. He will roll dice before he goes on stage, and depending on the number of lands will depend on the story he tells. And he takes a risk every single time he does that, because it could be a story that doesn't match the mood of the audience, or it could be a story that fits it perfectly. He ends up helping out Akane by trying to give her a little bit of a boost, because he sees the potential in her, because he feels like she's a similar Rakugoka as he is. And so he gives her a little challenge. The person that has been helping her at that theater, Anne. It's spelled A-N-I. He is in the middle of... he's being promoted from Zene to Futsumi. And during that performance, he's doing multiple smaller ones and trying to get that more experience, getting his name out there before then. And so if they're able to fill a room full of 50 people, he will teach her a story. And she comes up with an idea to do it after the first day. They get it to work, and then after that, he ends up teaching her a story. He tells her, after she tells it back to him, he gives her advice of trying to make it her own and gives her a challenge to talk about tell it in a way that she would actually normally speak. And so that becomes a challenge and stuff. And by the day of the actual event, she's also has a chance to be selected for promotion from Zene to Fudusumi from the help of Chocho, because he was able to get somebody else a part of that event. The only person that could actually give her that recommendation for the promotion there to see. And that's kind of where it's at. This is a quick summary. I kind of skipped about some of it. My phone is running out of storage and it's about to end soon, so I'm trying to wrap it up a little faster. The current little arc it's in, I want to say, is set to like the debut event for her, for the other Rocky Goko trying to become a Usumi. And it's kind of her debut as a professional Rakugoka. Almost out of storage now. This was part 1. I plan on doing a part 2 once I'm caught up on the series, and I will post a video when I'm caught up. And then from there, I will tell you the next series I plan on going through from the manga series from A to Z. That is it for now. See y'all next time.